640 more stimulating talk radio. Tim Conway Jr. Mark Thompson coming in at 9 p.m. It's been a while since Marky T was in the house. Now he's coming in. That should be great. That should be cool. 9 o'clock tonight. Maybe he's going to get here earlier. Who knows with that guy?
Slide on it.
There's an article that was just released. Let's see here. At 6:29, coming out of the Orange County Register. All right. Is AM and FM radio dying? On-air talents defend the terrestrial medium, citing its audience size. And then a fairly large picture there, Bender, if you don't mind me observing.
Whoa! I've got to go online.
I'll send this. I'll put this out on Facebook.
Yeah, please do.
And then I'll read you part of the article. So if you're on Facebook right now, go to Conway Show, and I will have it on ASAP.
You were looking sharp.
Hey, we're over 15,000 on Facebook.
That's a whole lot of people.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did not know that.
That means we are close to... we're at 25,000 now between the three social networks.
Wow. Is that too many?
No.
No. All right.
35,000 if you count Jesse Jackson.
And what about my own personal one?
No, that's what I've counted that one in there too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great article by Gary Lycan. And I'm putting it out. So, Bender, if you can steal it from Facebook.
You do it on Facebook.com/Conway Show?
/Conway Show?
Then it immediately goes out at Conway Show on Twitter.
Didn't know that. Know it now. All right. So, there you go. It's out there. Gary Lycan has put together a great article. You got to go read it. We'll also put it up on our website. I'll send it to the lovely one, Misty Heckler, and she'll be getting it momentarily. And we'll send this thing out to everybody, and then I'll read you part of it. But it's the Orange County Register, a newspaper that constantly writes about radio stations that people listen to. And that's quite a novel idea. But Gary Lycan is writing this article. He says, terrestrial radio, AM and FM broadcasting gets a bad rap from many who either comment or on electronic media or have moved to the online radio. But it also has its supporters. And this week we hear from both sides. First, the criticisms from Ken Levine, writer, producer, director, and Major League Baseball announcer, who writes at Kevin Levine at, I don't know what his website is there. For almost 100 years, terrestrial radio has ruled the airwaves. My first love, besides Natalie Wood, is radio. That's why it really pains me to not see it heading towards its own demise, but sprinting. All right, then he goes on to comment, that radio sucks. Where is he on in radio right now? Ken Levine. Is he on anywhere?
I don't.
Does anybody... what is the opening theme song for the Kevin Levine program? Or Ken Levine? Is it Ken Levine? Ken Levine?
I have no idea.
Is it Levine or Levine? What radio station is he on?
I don't know.
You have never heard that name? He used to do baseball rap, right? He used to do the sports wrap up on baseball. And nobody knows where he is now. Maybe that's why he hates radio. That's listen, once I get kicked out of here, I'm going to trash all of you guys.
Wow.
I'm going to get into my own podcasts and go nuts, especially on you, Bender. I'm writing page after page on how I'm going to destroy your life.
Angel's going diva and has much authority.
Who is this guy? Do you know?
Levine.
Levine.
Yes.
Ken Levine?
Ken Levine.
And what does he do? Is he a sports guy?
Yeah, sports.
And he did, what did he do? Was he a Dodger talk or something? Do you know?
Yeah.
You know what? That's right.
And,
Ken Levine did Dodger talk.
Dodger talk.
That's right. That's where I know the name.
Mariners.
And then when he left...
I'm looking at his blog right now.
Right. And then when he left the Dodgers, or the Dodgers left KBC, and now they're over with KLAC, they didn't bring him on?
No.
No. All right. Well, that's why he's pissed.
Say hey, Vesse.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's why he's pissed.
Can I read you the first line of his blog?
Sure.
Terrestrial radio is the guy in an iron lung who's smoking. Except the guy is smart enough to know he's dying.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, there are a ton of people who still listen to radio. You drive around, and for instance, today we said, hey, we put on that promo 3 times. it was a dumb promo. It was, hey, email us ding dong, we'll send you $10. And we get over 1,000 people. So I think this is, it's premature that radio is dying. Doug McIntyre defends radio here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can read the article. If you go to our website, we'll have it up there momentarily. Is it up there, Misty? Already?
Almost. It's almost up.
Almost up there. Okay. Doug McIntyre, KBC 790 AM, quote, 290 million people a week listen to radio, the vast majority of which are listening to terrestrial radio. And then he goes on and on to talk about how big the audience is. Gary, like him, Gary Bryan does the same thing over at K-Earth 101. And Gary and I share something in common. We were both in the Huntington Beach 4th of July Independence Day Parade last year. And I hope to be invited back to that. That was one of the great experiences of my life. And then Tim Conway Jr. on KFI AM 640. Here's my quote. Radio broke the name Christopher Dorner. And I think that's correct.
It is.
So all the other media outlets, the onlines, the podcast, the television, it was Eric Leonard who broke the name.
It is.
Christopher Dorner.
Yep.
Huge shout out.
Yeah. And so anyway, so here's my quote. Radio broke the name Christopher Dorner, carried live interviews from the crippled cruise ship Triumph, and bested TV in reporting the asteroid or meteorite, whatever you call it, that hit Russia. And that was your breaking news, Bender.
Hey, man.
You had that on before anybody.
We
shout
just
out.
bring it.
The Today Show even gave KFI credit for being the first media outlet to talk to the Big Bear resident who was carjacked by Christopher Dorner. So don't tell me radio is dying, Ken.
Bring it.
Sounds like you're dying. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're out of radio and you're pissed. I get it. I'll be the first guy to join you when I get tossed out of here. You're going to be pissed. When there's no more jobs left, I get it. I totally understand it.
Can I preview the Bender chapter? Or no,
No.
the Bender years?
I am, listen, I have loved radio. I think Ken may have come to radio late in life, but I listened to radio since I was, 3 or 4 years old, and was punished quite often when I was a kid for most of the stuff I didn't do. And I used to sit up in my room when I was grounded and listen to Vince Scully or listen to talk radio, so listen to KBC all the time. But did you listen to talk radio as a kid?
Not talk radio, but news radio. My dad
news
was
radio.
a big all-news radio listener, and I'd be in the car with him a lot. And that's where I got the bug. My
dad was and still is a huge fan of talk radio, to the point where he was mildly depressed that I was going to be on the air here between 7 and 10 p.m. because he's a big Brian Suits fan.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, kept asking where Brian Suits is going. But I'm a huge talk radio fan. I used to, I listen to John and Ken. I used to get, smoke a little, drink, whatever. But I used to take the edge off and listen to John and Ken with one of the singers or band members of the group Yes. Remember that group Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And we used to sit there and listen to John and Ken after having a couple of, taking the edge off. But, Misty, did you grow up listening to talk radio? Were you a big talk radio fan?
I was, yes. My mother always had the radio on.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
TV was off, just radio.
It usually comes from mom or dad.
Uh-huh.
My mother and father. My mother was such a big talk radio fan that she would, wherever Rush Limbaugh was in the country, she would fly there if he was doing a book signing or whatever. She would go to that city.
Whoa.
Yeah, huge fan. And she also gave quite a bit of money that should have gone to me when she passed away to the who is the guy that has? I'm going to kill myself here.
What's his name again?
Don. What's his name?
Cornelius.
No,
King.
The guy who has the ranch for the kids with cancer.
Imus.
Don Imus. Yeah, the I-Man. She gave a considerable check to Don Imus for his. For his ranch there with the kids who were have cancer. Were you a talk radio fan growing up, Baba?
Oh yeah, man, all the time. Most of my memories are of driving to school with either my mom or my dad, and we're listening to somebody on the air.
Yeah, it really is wild. And we get a lot of kids listening as well. So Ken, if you think radio's over, listen Thursday night between 8 and 9 and see how many kids are listening with their parents. Yep. Yes, instead of watching TV or instead of reading your blog. Yes, hate to be rude, but we didn't start it here. Ken did. Hey, Misty, what are your earliest childhood memories of listening to Ken Levine on the air?
You know, I don't have a memory of listening to him.
Bob?
What was his name again?
Ken Levine?
Yeah, I don't have any.
Bender?
I guess he hosted Dodger Talk.
Did you ever listen to it when he was on?
I usually turned it off.
And what about Angel? What's your favorite Ken Levine story?
How he would call the winning plays on those Dodger games. Oh, yeah. It was so good. So good.
All right, Ken, you are done, man. You nobody has any memory of you. You're an angry, old, bitter man who hates radio. And we're just calling it the way we see it here, gang. All right? It's not over. Tons of people listen to it. And the proof of that is how much money you make at the station if you're in morning drive or afternoon drive or noon to 3 or 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Hey, what about you, Tim?
And I make a couple of bucks here. Listen, I make a very, very good living, and I will always remember that even if they fire me tomorrow, I will have nothing bad to say about this station or the other station I worked for. I love radio. I love all the people that, or most of the people that I've worked with. All right, Spyro Moore is a big fan of talk radio as well, and proof of that is they've been a major sponsor of this show almost since its inception.
KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk radio.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Tim Conway Jr. here. The Orange County Register article is out there online. Go to Facebook, go to Twitter, go to KFIAM640.com and read it for yourself. And it's irritating because it's a question that is really being asked by a guy who nobody really knows, Ken Levine or Ken Levine in radio. So go read the article and see if it makes you crazy too. And again, even if I wasn't in radio, when I was fired by KLSX, the FM talk station, because they flipped formats, I went to work over at KBC, and then KBC fired me after only 3 nights there. And the first thing I try to do is try to get another job in radio because I really enjoy it. I enjoy the people. I enjoy everything about it. And there are some people that that constantly talk about how crappy it is, and then they wonder why they're not working in it. It really is amazing how self-destructive some people are, including me. All right, very good. All right, let's get into this. We got a lot of show to talk about here. All right, there's a Santa Ana gun buyback coming. So you got guns in Santa Ana. Let's turn them in and get some.